brings all the boys to the yard and they're like,
Hey y'all, it's me, Daejahmariej, and you are now watching Jaw TV. I kind of feel like I'm the guest star of this show because your girl has been MIA for a little minute, but it's okay. We back and we're gonna be back rolling with the story times. But first, I'm gonna need you guys to stop what you're doing. Okay? Stop what you're doing and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, especially if this is your first time seeing this beautiful face of mine. But first, also, let's get into the nail cam. I'm sorry if my hands are a little ashy. I just took a shower. But let's get into the nail cam. Nails by me, hair by me, lashes by me. Okay, let me stop. Okay. So, this story time is gonna be about we have another story time about Trevor Jackson, okay? Now, if you guys are new, once again, please hit that subscribe button. You're gonna love it here. But also, I'm gonna need you guys to sorry, those are not orbs, it's literally dust. Like I'm looking at them right now, it's dust flying all over the place, and it's probably because of this microphone, because I literally have not picked up this microphone in a very long time. Please check out my one of my story times, like a previous story times that I have. I might like post a screenshot of what it looks like, and so I could help you guys on what story time to watch, so that way you guys can know who Trevor Jackson is. He's my unfortunate ex. No, I'm not talking about the Trevor Jackson. This is just a code name that I gave him because Trevor Jackson and my ex favor each other. Like if anything, they could pass as like cousins or something. So, as you can see by the title, y'all, I was trapped in the closet, and I was trapped in his closet, and I got in huge trouble. And honestly, how I even ended up in this situation in the first place is because of lack of self love and low self esteem and paranoia. And girls, that's literally how I got myself in this situation. And looking back at it, like, I would say that's one thing that I regret. I don't pretty much regret too many things that has happened in my life, but that like this story time, this is something that I truly regret. Even like as a teenager, I regret this even happening. So let's start all the way from the very beginning of how I got myself in this situation, how did it end, and how this shit in a sense like permanently scarred me even at the age of 25. Like I've gotten over it, but it's just like, dang, this is one for the books, and hopefully I could be able to help somebody who was in my shoes. I'm talking about somebody who was a teenager in high school who don't know any better, who don't have any self-love, who is struggling with their identity, and also struggling, just struggling with, like, let's say daddy issues and even mommy issues, because like I most definitely had that. And I just feel like, oh my goodness, sorry. I just feel like something is sticking my lip and I don't know what it is. Maybe because it's dry, like my face is kind of dry. But anywho, I hope something's not on my lip. Okay. So yeah, I'm hoping that this story time can help somebody um not do what I did and avoid these situations and avoid guys like this 100%. So this situation took place on a I believe it took place on a Friday. It makes more sense. You know what? No. I can't remember. I think it most likely happened on a Friday because um a lot of times on Fridays there'll be like basketball games or some type of like sport game happening after school, and it's typically on Friday. So I think it was on a Friday. So Friday, right? I'm not sure if it was like some sort of teacher's planning day. I feel like we got out of school early. I can't remember. Don't quote me. I cannot remember. This was years ago. This was literally, I want to say this was literally 11th grade year. It had to been 11th grade year. And me and him would typically walk after school because I like we pretty much lived close to the school, but like he kind of lived farther than me. So in this sense, like he wasn't even supposed to be going to my school. He was supposed to be going to, I believe, like a whole another school, right? But I kid you not, like his house and my house, like on foot is a good, like I want to say it's a good 10 to 15 minutes, like on foot, but in car, like by car, sorry, is 5 minutes. So that's the difference. So me walking to school on foot is a good maximum 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, I would say that. And yeah, that's why we walked to school, because uh it had a big thing to do with like the miles. If you're under the certain amount of miles away from the school, the bus is not going to come and pick you up, like the school bus. So that's why we walked. And we didn't none of us had no cars at the time, and we didn't really know anybody that had a car. Or they we did know somebody that had a car, they had already graduated. So yeah, I remember it was me and him walking at the school, and by this time we got close where we were walking by this big football field that was literally right across from my neighborhood. This gas station, before it became a Wawa, if you know, you know. Um, I'm gonna just name the neighborhood because I no longer lived. I haven't lived in that neighborhood in years. So the neighborhood that I used to live in was called Sherman Circle. So across from Sherman Circle was this big ass football field where you go to play football, soccer, cheerleading. There used to be a baseball field, but I think by that time they got rid of the baseball field like a long time ago, from a long time ago. So we had sports and all that stuff going on, activities, events that used to take place at that particular football field. And across the street, before it became a Wawa, it was some like rink-a-dink gas station. I can't remember what gas station it was, but it was this rink-a-dink gas station, but they always had a fire snack. So that was right there. And then if you go further down to the right, it like heading north, there was another gas station. So that one was, I believe, was that Marathon? I can't remember which gas station that is, but Marathon, that gas station was ass. Their snacks was ass. Behind that gas station was Trevor's neighborhood. Okay? Okay. So by the time we reached the football field, this is where one of these characters that I'm soon going to talk about on this channel very soon, because very soon. So I'm just gonna give both of them a name. So we're gonna name her. Okay, I had to think of two annoying people on social media that I cannot stand, and it's Brene and Tim. So we're just gonna call them Brene and Tim. We're just gonna make this easier. So Brene um is the one with the car. So Brene she used to drive this Nissan. Tim was her play cousin. The reason why I say play cousin, because they had everybody fooled in high school that they were cousins, but I could have swore when we was in middle school, y'all didn't know each other. Y'all was not cool. You wasn't fucking with her like that, Brene. And then all of a sudden, I guess I don't know. In a sense, I think they became neighbors or some shit like that. I don't remember how them two even became affiliated, but they're from the same place. They're not from America. Both of them are from the same place. Like they're from an island. Let's just say they're from the Caribbean. So all of a sudden, they're play cousins. I know the real. They're not really cousins for real. And um so it was both of them in the car, because typically Brene would take Tim home because they lived in the same neighborhood, literally. So At first, we see where, mind you, me and Trevor is heading north. We see Brene and Tim heading south towards the school, and they're driving. So as they're driving past us, um, mind you, they're like how Florida is set up, like the way they're passing by us, they're like on the other side. So we have the road that's like the 3 lanes that's heading north, and then we have the opposite 3 lanes that's heading south, right? Right. So we're heading north. So that's why I said they're like across the street. As they're driving past, Brene and Tim decides to roll down their windows, and Tim decides to yelling out, "Hey," I was about to say his name, "Hey Trevor, da 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 da." So okay, little backstory, mini backstory as to like why in the fuck, because I got mad, I got pissed, I was mad because I'm just like, Tim know what the fuck she doing, especially Brene, because Brene, you could have kept fucking driving, but you decided to slow the fuck down and be fucking petty. So let me explain why I'm saying that they're being petty, and you're gonna see why. Brene had history. You know what? Both of them had history. Coming from, what was his name? What did I think I named him Travis. So Travis from the last story time was friends with Trevor. Remember, Travis is the one who looks like they favor each other. Both of them favor each other. Mind you, Travis does not favor the actual Trevor Jackson from Disney Channel, but he favors my Trevor, my ex. I mean, yeah, my ex or whatever. So he can pass, like Travis looks like he could pass off as like a distant cousin in a sense, because literally everybody thought that they were related. So coming from Travis, right? I remember Travis had spilled the tea. I can't remember exactly when did he spill the tea to me, but he spilled the tea to me because he had ended up falling for Tim, and it didn't work out because of Trevor, right? Okay. So if I'm remembering correctly, right? Travis had told me that what you call it, Brene and Trevor were a thing, which I've been knew from the 10th grade because I from last story time, I had already said that I seen him in the halls and stuff like that, and I was like, "Ooh, who's that?" or whatever. So Travis had ended up telling me that while he was dealing with Tim or whatever case may be, some snake shit happened to where Tim decides to go mess with Trevor. So in a sense, Brene and Tim was sharing Trevor. So they were taking turns. Let's just say they was taking turns. You see what I'm talking about with that sloppy second shit? Because Brene be on that type of timing because she did that shit to me, to my first high school boyfriend back in the 9th grade. Wait on that story time. So I'm hoping like I didn't lose you guys. So this is why I'm feeling, some type of way with seeing Brene and Tim rolling down their fucking windows and yelling out after my man. Like, what is you doing? So also to give like a character background to Tim, because like my main thing in this story time, like my main beef in this story time was towards Tim, or the hostility was towards Tim. So another story time, like I'm gonna get into like a greater detail on like who Brene is, and she snaked the fuck out of me, but it's okay because I snaked her back. But technically not, because we wasn't cool by the time that me and Trevor started dating. So like I want to say we wasn't cool, like there was no beef, it's just that the friendship was just done, it was broken, it was over with. I didn't want to make amends, I didn't want to no longer be friends with her, we were just cordial after that. So Tim, this treasonous ass bitch, she's the type of girl who will sit there and would literally pursue your man just because you're dating them, not because she likes them for them, or she has a crush on them, or she was even thinking about that person in the first place, or was even gonna look their way. She would only try to mess with the person that you're messing with because you're messing with them. That used to be cool for her at one point in time. But back in ninth grade, keep this in mind, back in ninth grade, there was this group that we used to hang around because we was all like, I'm just gonna say it because I already had said they're from the Caribbean, whatever. They're from Jamaica, right? So there was this group that like we used to hang around in ninth grade and sit with at lunch or whatever the case may be, and we used to always travel with each other. So we were labeled the Jamaican kids, or we sat at this table called the Jamaican table. So mind you, there was a Haitian table, there was a Hispanic table, but it was literally like we didn't pay too much attention to the Hispanics because my school is predominantly black. So it was basically like Haitians against Jamaicans at that school. Let's just say that. But it would be friendly fire. It wouldn't be on no type of timing like how New Jersey and up north was. We was on that type of timing, like beating each other up, offing each other, whatever the case may be, because of where we're from. So since I'm a half and half, half American, half Jamaican, you know, I felt comfortable to be with Jamaican kids. So I remember there was one boy, I can't remember his name, but he was an upperclassman. I think at the time he was in either the 11th grade or the 12th grade. And mind you, I'm in ninth grade. And I remember it was like an incident that had happened with my first high school boyfriend where, Brene had snaked me and took my sloppy seconds. That had a very bad look on her. And mind you, he was a Haitian. So it was already enough that they was looking at him some type of way because it's like, why are you sitting at our table? You're not Jamaican, you're Haitian. But on top of that, how you gonna get with this girlfriend? And how you, Brene, is gonna get with this girl's ex? That don't make no sense. So this boy, one day, like all of us was walking with each other, and like walking. When I mean like walking with each other, like after school, we all walking home, and I remember he kind of like, I think Brene was ahead of us, and then me and the Jamaican boy and some other kids was in the like kind of in the background or whatever. But we're all walking like we're together, but Brene was ahead. And I remember he, was just talking to me, but he was talking low enough to where only I can hear him. And he was like, listen, I don't like what Brene is doing. And I'm gonna let you know right now, that's not your friend, because that's not what friends do. You don't get with somebody's like ex or whatever. Y'all supposed to be friends. I thought you guys were friends, but clearly you guys can't be friends if she's okay with doing something like that. So me being doo doo doo, just like, trying to say how I don't care, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, listen, no, I'm warning you right now. This girl, like, he was basically warning me to just stop being friends with her because, like, let's just say if I were to continue on being friends with her, this is not going to be like the worst thing that she has done to me or whatever case may be. It's going to be more shit. So he's just like telling me, like, yo, watch out for her. And I'm peeping like Tim's way and all type of stuff. And Tim is just like, Tim is slimier than Brene. I would say that. And she's very bold. She's very bold. I'm not trying to say that Brene wasn't bold, but the level of bold, like the definition of bold, that's exactly what Tim was, because Tim would do shit in your face, say shit in your face, or just be on some like grimy shit in your face. Surprised nobody whooped her ass. But anywho, yeah. So this is why I'm upset, because it's like, yo, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? So the plan was, right? Originally, Tim was supposed to either drop, like, walk me to my home or like hang out with me at my crib. But for whatever reason, he decided he no longer was gonna go to my crib, because I think it was something like, I can't remember what it was, because I can't remember if Brene and Tim knew where Trevor lived. I think they knew where he lived. I think that's what it was. I think they knew where he lived. I can't remember how I found out about that or how I knew about that, but I think they knew where he lived. So he all of a sudden decides that he's not gonna go to my house. He's gonna go straight home. So in my head, I'm like, nigga, you trying to have them bitches at your house or some shit? Like, why all of a sudden the plan switched up the moment that you seen these bitches and they acknowledge you on the street? So I think they had asked, or Tim had asked Trevor, what he doing, this is that, blah blah blah. Mind you, they're not really acknowledging me like that. So I'm just like looking at them funny. And then I'm looking at him funny. So he's like, oh, like, I'm not doing nothing, I'm going home. And I turned to him and I said, home? You're supposed to go to my home. We're supposed to be chilling at my crib. What do you mean home? Like, that was not what we discussed leaving the schoolhouse. Like, what are you talking about? So I'm salty. So in my head, I'm coming up with this failed elaborate plan that I'm going to go to his house instead of me just taking my donkey ass home. I decided to take it upon myself to walk home with him. And he's like, we're just like walking, and at this point we're walking past the football field, which is basically walking past my neighborhood. And he's just like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like, walking home with you. And he was like, all right, that's fine with me, but just know I'm not walking you back home. So I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever, whatever. So okay, boom. Now they had drove past. So now by this time we reached the other gas station and we're kind of getting close to his neighborhood, like the entrance, but we still have some like time, like 5 minutes to get to the entrance of his neighborhood. Renee and Tim decides to head back north. So now they're basically like on the same path as us. So they end up pulling up right next to us. Now I'm like, okay, this is getting out of control, because at first, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was just gonna walk to the entrance of his home, like basically walking him home like a fucking dog. And then I was gonna turn around. But since they did that shit the second time, and I'm like, oh hell no, I see exactly what these bitches are trying to do, and they're gonna try and pull up at his house. So I wanted to like follow him home and be home with him to make sure that these bitches don't try nothing crazy. Like basically in a sense cat calling from the window and stuff like that. And then I'm getting pissed and I'm just like, what the fuck are they doing? By this time, we're at the entrance of his neighborhood and they had already left, and then they had bust a U-turn to go back to where the fuck that they were going. Like they probably either went home or they probably went back to the school. I have no idea. So we get to his house and we just chilling or whatever case may be. Like I don't remember exactly what happened. Like, oh yeah, I remember. It just flashed in my head. Trust me, guys, we didn't do nothing. I think by this time I was still innocent. So we wasn't doing no type of stuff but just like eating each other's faces out. That's pretty much it. We were just watching movies like in his bed or something. And yeah, that was pretty much, yeah, we end up falling asleep. So by the time we woke up, like something disturbed my spirit and I just woke up. Mind you, he's still asleep. I just woke up. I see the time and I'm like, oh shoot. I think this is around the time that his parents come home. And I know like my mom is about to come home in the next hour. So um I have to let my mom know, like basically I'm at a basketball game, because remember Trevor used to be on the basketball team, but he ended up riding benches because of an injury or whatever. And yeah, he just never played basketball again or whatever due to that like injury. I lied and said that, we are both at a basketball game, because mind you, like he was a manager for the basketball team at our school. And I just told my mom that. My mom's like, okay, whatever. Because usually, like typically the the basketball games will like run until like 10 o'clock at night. And then typically, let's say hour later, everybody's still hanging out and then go home. Mhm. Why his mom ends up pulling up. And shortly after, the dad ends up coming home. So now it got to the point where it's like, oh shoot, you gotta go in the closet. The closet, I can't go out through the window. He had a screen. He had two windows in his room. One of them faces like let's say the front door, like the pathway to the front door, and then the other one faces like the front yard. This nigga could have just carved a hole in that shit, or like popped the fucking screen and let me get out, and let me get out through the front door at least. Now that I'm thinking about it, but me being such a, like, empath or a freaking simp, I didn't want him to get in trouble for carving a hole or like punching out the damn screen or whatever, so I could escape and go home. So what do? I go in the closet like a dumbass. No, his mom came home first. His mom came home earlier. The dad wasn't home just yet. So I go in the closet, and since I'm so short, I'm able to like stretch my legs out. I could lay in his closet, right? He didn't have no walk-in closet or nothing like that. So I'm laying on the floor, and his mom just kept like coming in the room. So when she came in the room, my heart fell to my ass because I'm just like, dang, his laundry basket is right here. What if she decides she wants to do his laundry? You know what I mean? What if she comes in the damn closet and sees me and have heart failure? Like, I would lose my I would lose my shit. So, um, thank goodness she didn't go in the closet or anything, but she just kept coming in his room just talking to him, because she's just like one of those mothers where she just babies the fuck out of her son, because evidently he was the baby out of like his siblings. He was the baby. They talking, whatever, whatever. He just chilling on the bed like nothing is going on. Like he don't have a whole body in the closet right now. He's out the room, and she's like somewhere close to his room. Like I think the kitchen was super duper close to his room, to the point where if I were to bolt out, she would have seen me. Let's just say that. The dad ends up coming home. So he was trying to wait until both of them at least go into the room, or because maybe so I can leave. Man, for whatever reason, this day they was not going into their room to watch TV. They was going out to the living room to watch TV. So the way their living room was set up and their couch and whatever was set up, their couch was facing the front door. So Trevor had to like do a test run to see what they would do if like somebody would go out the front door. So what he did was he got up. He let me know like what his plan was. So he got up, um, went out through the front door, and he said as he went out through the front door, his parents looked directly at him. So he was like, yeah, that's not gonna work out, or whatever the case may be. Like it's just not gonna work out. And now it's getting super duper late. It's getting really late, and my mom is texting me. She's asking me where I'm at, and I'm like shitting bricks. So I'm telling her like how, oh, we're still at we're still at the baseball game. It's running late. This that blah blah blah, whatever whatever. And I can't remember if this was a school night, but my mom wanted me to come home. She wanted me to be home, and it's like around 11. It's getting close to 12. And I'm just like, my mom is about to be on my ass, because my mom is not that type of mom where she would go to sleep without everybody being up underneath this damn roof. My mom was not letting up on me. Parents is still watching TV out in the living room. They were not letting up. I cannot see myself getting out of this one. And by this time, I'm starving. Like, I want to go home. I want to go wash my butt. I want to go lay down in my bed. I regret even coming here. I should have just let them bitches follow him home and let bygones be bygones at this point. I end up having to like fess up to my mom and let her know, all right, this is what's going on. I'm telling her how I'm basically trapped. I'm stuck in his house. My mom's like, "What you mean you stuck in his house? Da 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 da. His peoples don't know you there." I'm like, "No, mommy." And she was like, "This is ridiculous. Da 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 da. You should ought to be ashamed of yourself." My mom is going off on me, and as she should, because why did I put myself in this situation? Why? I had no business being there, and especially without his parents knowing that I'm in his house. So my mom was like telling me, you know that their parents, his parents, is most likely not gonna like view you the same, right? Like, first of all, they don't know you. Second of all, they never met you. Third of all, now they're just gonna think of you as a tramp in their house creeping. That's what they're gonna think of you. and they're probably not going to want you to be with their son anymore. So I'm like tearing up, I'm crying because what you mean I can't be with my Pookie no more? Like, what you mean they gonna hate me? What you think? What you mean they gonna think of me this way? Oh, I was so down bad. My mom like, mommy, can you please come get me? I think by this time I was how old I was. I was man, I think I was 17. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm apologizing. I'm telling her I should have never done this. Da, 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 da. I'm trying to like explain to her, what's going on and why did I come here. Whatever, whatever. She was just like, listen, I don't give a F. You should have took your ass home. Like, you can't control what people do and stuff like that. So she was like, I'm coming right now, but this is ridiculous. Like, I gotta take your sister, like, because at the time my sister was basically a toddler. So she's like, it's beyond late. I gotta take your sister out to bed, put her in the car seat, and come get your ass. Da 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 da. My mom pulls up. Lo and behold, she pulls up, parks the car in their driveway, walks up to the door, and knocks on their door. So remember, I said like his window was right there, so meaning his bedroom was right there next to the front door. So I heard the dialogue and the interaction between my mom and his mom. Mind you, the daddy's still on the couch, like probably like just looking like, what the fuck? Why is just some random lady at our doorstep? Oh my god, I felt so bad. I felt so stinking bad because my mom had to go do this, and I know my mom was like hella embarrassed. She kind of does a chuckle, and when she did that chuckle, I knew I was done for. So she was like, I don't even know how to say this, but my daughter is in your house right now, and I'm pretty sure you don't know that she's in your house. So the mom was like, huh? Said hello, like, good night, da 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 da, and then she just proceeds to say what I had just said. Child, she's like apologizing. She's like, listen, I'm so sorry. I didn't raise my daughter to be this way, so I don't want you to think that my daughter's this way. Ever since she got into boys and stuff like that, like she just been all over the place and stuff like that, you know. So so his mom was like, wait, like where? Da, 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 da. So my mom told her where. She was like, she's in the closet. So the dad, as soon as the dad heard that shit, he gets up from the couch. I heard him walk over, and he's like, "What?" Da 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 da. So then he calls Trevor. So he's like, "Trevor, Trevor, come here." Da 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 da. So Trevor gets up. He walks over, and my mom knows who Trevor is, but his parents don't know who I am. They never met me before. They never seen me. He never introduced us. There were like plenty of times where I was supposed to be introduced and it just never happened. Bullshit reasons, let's just say that. Saying hi to my mom. Trevor, where's Daejah? He says, in my room. And his mom's like, that's impossible. Like I was in his room several times today. Da 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 da. I didn't know nothing. And my mom's like, that's because she was in the closet the entire time. The dad came by the room, but he didn't come in the room. He stood at the doorstep and he basically told me to come out. I don't remember if he called me by my name or whatever, because by this time they know my name. But he told me to come out, and I came out, and I'm just looking at him with like puppy dog eyes, like, and he's like, why are you here? Boy, I started tearing up, and he's like, why are you here? He asked me again, and I'm just like, I'm here for Trevor. Like, I'm here because of Trevor. So he nods his head. He's like, okay, okay. Y'all, I don't remember anything else because I just zoned out. She tells me to get in the car first. So she's like, go in the car, your sister's in the car, da da da, go in the car. So I go in the car, and she's still talking to his parents or whatever. She's still apologizing. And, you know, based on like what his parents was telling my mom was that, like, Trevor's gonna be in big, big trouble or whatever the case may be. That was a lie. And, that he's gonna go on punishment, he's grounded, whatever. That was also a lie. I get home and I'm immediately on punishment. My dad gets notified. Mind you, my dad, like, I don't live in a two-parent household. I live in a single parent household. Well, at the time. My mom calls up my dad, lets him know everything that was going on. My dad, like, my mom passed the phone to me. My dad is going off on me. I'm crying. I'm boohoo crying. I'm in tears. I'm trying to explain what was going on. My dad was adamant that I was having sex. I was not having sex because like, dead ass at that time, I was not sexually active. Mom and dad, I was not sexually active. For whatever reason, they didn't want to believe me, but at the same time, I understand why they didn't believe me. You know what? No, we're gonna do a part two, y'all. That's what happened. Y'all, like, in part two, I'm gonna explain like what happened to me, what was going on, and like I was damn near admitted into a psychiatric unit. Like, I was about to be Baker acted because I lost my mind due to, in a sense, public humiliation. Let's just say that. Like, I was freaking humiliated. So I hope we learned something today. You know, did we learn anything today, children? Do not go to that boy's house. Go home. I don't care if you suspect him of cheating. I don't care if you think he's going to cheat just because you're not keeping tabs on him. Because I used to feel like, in order for me to make sure that Trevor does not cheat on me, I had to know his whereabouts 24/7. I had to be on the phone on FaceTime with him 24/7. I had to talk to him 24/7 because I felt like if I do those three things, you would not have time to cheat on me. But child, I was proven wrong every single mother freaking time. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you learned from my mistakes. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.